Okay.
Hi everybody.
don't know
For
if I'm
everybody,
muted.
especially for
You're not
those of you who are on.
You're not unmuted yet.
For those of you who are on. Okay, I gotta unmute my own video. Start my video. Okay. Hi everybody. I hope you can hear me and see me. If you're on, if you're watching me on Facebook, please join us on Zoom. Hannah, where's the number? I mean, I keep on putting it up and I don't see it being displayed. But even here, if I commented there, then it's just gonna. But join us on Zoom. The number is. We should have written it out. It is written in the description. Oh, wait a second. This isn't good. Okay. Let's see.
Do you want me to write out the number?
The computer's too far back. I guess I can get closer. Yeah, write it out. Okay. Hi, everybody. Romance in the age of the coronavirus. I really would love to hear your questions. Romance is possible in the age of the coronavirus. A lot of us don't feel romantically inclined. I understand that. When all you hear about is death and disease, not exactly the sexiest topic, and yet you're home, and you're afforded the opportunity to focus on your marriage in ways that you might not otherwise be. And why not avail yourself of that? What is romance? What's the definition of romance? I want someone to give me a definition of romance that I could read out, but I'm going to give you my definition in a moment. What is the definition of romance? And like I said, whoever doesn't know the number, then, let me put it here. Zoom, what is it? What, give me one more time?
I'm writing it down.
Yeah.
71.
Yeah, what is it? 71.
14.
Yeah.
006.
006.
9426.
006. What?
9426.
Okay. Okay. So what's the definition of romance? Let's see if someone can define it for me. Give me the definition of romance. Because before I tell you whether romance is possible in the age of Corona, we first have to agree what romance is. Is romance buying someone flowers? Is romance doing the dishes for your spouse instead of having them do it? Is romance... someone told me whenever we show this, it comes out backward. Is that right? Does it come out backward? So that's the number for Zoom right now, for those of you that want to join. 711-4006-9462. 9462, that's the Zoom number. You guys see it? There must be a better way of doing this. Too funny. Can everyone on Zoom hear me? Oh, everyone's muted for now. Okay. Hey, let me try Ted. Hey, Ted, can you hear me on Zoom? Are you alive and well, Ted? Are you doing okay? I don't hear you. I unmuted you and I don't hear you. Hold on. No, it's not working. I don't know why. Okay, let me go to the definition of romance. Romance is any loving gesture undertaken to establish this, to make someone else feel special. It's a loving gesture that makes someone feel special. It's a gesture that makes someone feel like they are the end and not the means. A romantic gesture is where you undertake a romantic gesture is where you do something that makes someone feel special and that they are the end, not the means. So let me give you an example. If it's my wife's birthday and I buy her a washing machine. Hey, Debbie, happy birthday. Here's a brand new washing machine. That is not a romantic gesture. And the reason it's not a romantic gesture is because I'm saying to her, I love you, it's your birthday, but do the laundry. If I buy her a dishwasher, I love you, you're amazing, let's do the dishes. You're a means to an end. But if I buy my wife flowers, even though flowers cost just a fraction of a washing machine, or a dishwasher, it's a romantic gesture because there's nothing you can do with flowers. You can't wipe up a coffee stain with them. They don't even last very long. So what I'm saying to my wife is, you're like a beautiful flower. You're vibrant and you're beautiful. And you have so much color and such vibrancy. And everything that is beautiful about nature is beautiful in you. So because there is no utilitarian use of flowers, that's a romantic gesture. Not for everybody. Not everybody likes flowers. I also get that. So, jewelry, why is that romantic? Because again, you're saying to your wife, we can't do anything with this necklace that we bought except put it on you because you're beautiful to magnify and enhance your beauty. One of the most romantic things my wife ever did for me, I have to say, is for my 50th birthday. She used to go every day, and I didn't even know this, to make this ceramic frame for a painting that was made by my daughter Sterny. And my wife created the frame over like 6 months, going to this ceramic place where we live. It's up in our townhouse in New York City. The world values know. Everyone tells me that I look like a Middle Eastern dictator. Do I? I don't have the oil. Okay, but I do want to take your questions. And if you have a question, raise your hand. I'm not seeing a lot of people. They do the raise their hand, right? Remember, this is all still in beta for me. I'm learning Zoom more. But I would really hope the people that are on Facebook will come to Zoom because I want to answer some questions. Miriam, Ben, Jason, Charles, Ted. Hey. Ted, can I hear you this time? Now can I hear you? Oh, maybe there's no sound. Wait a second. I know what it is. There it is. Ted?
Yes, Rabbi.
There you are. Okay, how's it going, Ted? Hey.
Thank God.
How's life in
Baruch
Pennsylvania?
Hashem.
How's What's that? Wait a second. What's that weird hat you're wearing? You got this like Robin Hood hat. Are you gonna like?
Yeah, it's my yarmulke.
Are you in Pennsylvania to steal from the rich and give to the poor?
I am in Pennsylvania.
Okay, go ahead. What's your question?
So, you want to make someone feel special, but one of the problems that couples face is that sometimes the mate doesn't communicate what makes her or him feel special. So communication is an important part of romance. Without the communication, you can't make someone feel special. Whether it's in lovemaking, whether it's in washing the dishes, God forbid, whether it's whatever you do, the person has to communicate what they want in order for you to make them feel special. That's just a statement, not a question.
No, wait, you know what? A lot of women, let me begin with women, because I'm one of those guys who's deeply in touch with his feminine side, as you well know, Ted. A lot of women would say that if you need to communicate what makes you feel special, then it's not romantic. A lot of women expect their husbands to know. They expect their boyfriends to know. When they go on a date, they're impressed with a guy who kind of knows where to take them to have a nice time. But if you have to ask them, you just mentioned sex. Yeah, on the one hand, men hate asking for directions in general, probably in sex in particular, and maybe that makes them bad lovers. But I know a lot of women that don't want to have to tell the guy, this feels great, this doesn't feel great. They expect him to be more intuitive. That doesn't mean that I don't agree with you. It doesn't mean that I don't agree with you that communication is an essential form of romance. But romance, I think a lot of people expect to be more intuitive. So let's say it's my wedding anniversary, and I go to Debbie and I say, it's our wedding anniversary. What should I get you? Now, is that a romantic question? What would you say? It's probably not. Here, my daughter Hannah's right here. Is that a romantic question?
What should I get you?
Yeah. No, it isn't. People want to know that you've done something more spontaneously.
It's not romantic.
Now, what is your wish? What is your wish? What would you love to have?
But if you share a life with someone, they expect you to know that. We're caught. Maybe we men are caught in a catch-22, because on the one hand, our wives, our women expect us to know. On the other hand, when we don't know, they fault us for not knowing. It would have been a lot easier to have communication. A lot of people are writing about communication now. Let me see on Instagram. Intuitive communication like that requires deep empathy. Yeah, it does require empathy. But I think if you... Listen, my wife and I are married 32 years, thank God. So Debbie expects me, I guess, to know things about her, and I expect her to know things about me. Not fully. There has to be mystery in a relationship as well. But so Ted, you're a great believer in communication.
Absolutely. However, 8 out of 10 gifts that I bought for my mate, I bombed. 8 out of 10.
Really?
Wrong. 8 out of 10 gifts.
Okay. What
can I say about that? 8 out of 10.
Well, next time, don't buy that annual subscription to male porn. That just doesn't work. Oh, there's your yarmulke. Okay. Next time, don't go to your wife and say, "Hey, happy anniversary! I bought myself Super Bowl tickets in your honor." You got to think of. It'd be nice if the women started telling us some of the romantic gestures. Okay, Ted. God bless. Keep on watching. Okay, who else? How am I going to know if anyone wants to ask a question?
A blue hand goes up.
Oh, if you want to ask a question, show me your blue hand. Why is the hand blue? So Pesach just wrote the number before was backward. Yeah, I know that. I said that.
I don't know,
How do we pin it on Instagram? Okay, so the number is 714-006-9462.
26.
9426. Oh, God. Okay, you're
Should I
right.
try write it backwards?
No. Actually, just
You
pin
can do
it.
it this way.
I did pin it before. I wrote it already in my comments. Those of you can find it. But if you have a question,
Just so you know, it does show backwards.
Sorry, who is that?
It's Miriam. It shows backwards, just so you know. Like on Instagram.
Oh, that's why.
Hello, Miriam.
Yeah, so you're going to have to... Hey, how are you?
All right, did you
Sorry
have
to interrupt.
Did you have a question?
I just wanted to let you know it was backwards in case you're trying to get other people on. I wanted to let you
No,
know.
I know, but I want to just pin it to the description of the Facebook chat so people can just see it on Facebook. We didn't write it backwards. It's just that it appeared. You can't do that, Hannah. Let me see if you're
doing
going to
it.
pull it off. What?
I'm doing it.
But I said the number many times. Here
Oh,
on Instagram, how would we pin it? How would we pin it? Let me see. No, there's no way to pin this. I don't know why someone told me I can pin it on Instagram Live. I don't see any place to pin it. That would be the best thing. And on Facebook, the description is supposed to be there. But thank you, I appreciate it, Miriam. If you have a question, please tell me.
I don't have any specific questions. You and I spoke the other night about
I remember.
my book and stuff. Unless you want a female's perspective on anything else you've been talking about, but
I did
I'm
it.
good.
I think this is it.
Oh,
just
okay.
this
Let
line.
me see if my daughter's claims she did it. Let's
I
see.
think I did it.
Oh my God, she
The
did
top.
do it.
Ha!
Oh, look at that. 7114-006-9426. We did it.
Very impressive.
I had to do it twice.
All right. Let me show it one more time.
By the way, Rabbi, did you ever get my email?
Let's talk about that offline if you don't mind.
Sure.
Sure. You can write to me again. 7114-006-9426. But you can give me a woman's perspective on romance. What's your definition of romance?
Just be normal. Don't do anything weird.
It's just being what?
Normal. Don't do anything weird. Just be authentically yourself. I don't know that. I don't know. I'm very non-materialistic.
but
I'm very,
first,
like,
but before we talk about a box of chocolates or a diamond or a bouquet of flowers, the first thing I'm asking is, what is the definition of romance? What's the definition of romance? What's a romantic gesture? So my definition was a loving gesture undertaken to simply make someone feel cherished and special. It has no utilitarian purpose. That's a romantic gesture. If I give my wife a compliment, if I say you look beautiful, if I say I look beautiful, but she knows it's a manipulative statement because I'm about to ask her, hey, you look great. Hey, can I get a coffee? Well, that's not romantic. A romantic gesture has to have no purpose other than to make someone feel special. Chana, what are some of the romantic things that we're selling on Kosher Sex?
I think massage oils. That's romantic.
Well, that's a good thing during
Give someone a
coronavirus.
massage.
Give each other massages, especially because it releases tension, so much tension. People are getting so much bad news. The tactility of massage, that's good. Okay.
No, and I think it's very important to have human touch right now, especially since
Agreed. Okay, so we have massage. We have. Okay.
we got our CBD infused massage oils to give you much more relaxing.
Are they really? Is it CBD? CBD massage oils are relaxing?
Yes, very. That's the whole point of them.
Why? What do they do?
I mean, it's one of the components in marijuana. So there's THC and CBD.
The THC gets you high. CBD
Yeah.
does not. So what does CBD do?
just is the relaxing.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So CBD. So you're saying CBD massage oil, something you sell in Kosher Sex, and that.
CBD. We have a lot of this CBD infused.
What other romantic things?
There's actually a really good game that's it's a card game and it gets like some of them are more like sexy and flirty, but there's a couple that are get you to ask your partner really intimate questions and get to know each other more.
Well, that's being inquisitive about someone is very romantic because it shows that you're interested in them again as a means, as an end and not in a means. You're not using that information for any purpose. You want to know them deeper. You want to connect with them more intimately.
With communication.
What?
People are obsessed with communication.
Yeah, romance. Vilma. Hey,
When
Vilma, you
they're
want to say this? Where's Vilma? Do you want to say it? Can I unmute you?
Sure, nobody's a mind reader. You have to talk to people in order to get to know them. Love is something you build. And how are you going to build? You got to talk to people.
Okay, so you're not, when I said before that some women would expect, well, let me ask you if you don't mind. Are you married?
No,
Okay, you date?
no.
Okay. Because of the coronavirus or you just don't date?
Both.
Okay, if you go out on a date with a guy and you need to tell him, I don't know, to order a bottle of wine, if you need to ask him, don't you feel a little bit let down that he wasn't more intuitive?
No.
No.
I know what I want.
Okay, so you are not turned off by a man who may not intuitively understand you. You're very happy to explain yourself and your needs and your wants to a man. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I know myself better than anyone else.
Okay, but
Doesn't take out the romance, maybe.
what? That's what I'm asking.
Right.
Vilma says it doesn't take out the romance.
No,
My
because there's always something more you can learn no matter how much you've known a person. I mean, your wife, you could probably learn more about your wife the longer you live.
No, I know. No one's negating the art of communication in a relationship, and no one is saying that it isn't essential. No one is saying that communication isn't also very romantic. What I am saying is, if a man needs to be told his woman, his wife, his girlfriend's deepest needs after they've been together a while, she might actually be put off. She might actually feel like, why aren't we connecting in a way that you just kind of get me, understand me? You know, I do a lot of marriage counseling, and one of the most common refrains I hear from women, from wives, as they sit there very upset at their husbands, they use this same expression. They'll say, you just don't get it. And he's saying, get what? Now, you would say, Vilma, I wouldn't say you don't get it, because I'd explain what he doesn't get.
But she's saying that's
I
what
have
the communication
sympathy. I have sympathy for people because I know that communication is something that people work on all their lives, and there's great room for misunderstanding. And because I also speak various languages, there's things that are lost to people that are not intuitive because they're not you and they haven't had your experiences.
Fair enough. Okay. That's a healthy attitude. I'm just not sure that all women agree with you.
I'm not all women. I can only speak for myself, right?
Very true. Very true. I guess it comes down to that general question in relationships, whether we can generalize. But I appreciate your perspective very much. Thank you.
Thank you for your talks.
I'm going to read this. What's your message for religious Jewish men? What's your message for religious Jewish women with respect to romance during quarantine, but no mikveh access, or women are too afraid to go to the mikveh? That's a very fair question. So in the Jewish religion, a woman goes to the mikveh, a ritual bath, small little pool, after menstruation, after her menses. And then she and her husband make love that night. Now, my understanding is that the mikvahs are open now, but you're saying some people are afraid to go. And I would understand that as well. Let's just be clear. Romance and sex are very different things. In fact, sometimes sex can ruin a romance. Let's say a man and a woman start dating, and before it's romantic, it's sexual. Then romance probably won't even develop. You know, I always say that there's 4 stages, and what I mean is that even in a marriage, if a couple aren't having sex, doesn't mean they can't be romantic. I always say there's 4 stages to a relationship. My daughter will know this because I've raised my kids, you know, telling them this all the time. The first is attraction. You're drawn to someone mysteriously, inexplicably, across the room. You don't know anything about them, but you're drawn to them. Attraction. Stage number 2 is verbal expression. You get to know each other. Hey, you walk across the restaurant, you sit, you talk, or you go out for a drink together. Verbal expression, verbal communication. That's stage 2 of a healthy relationship. Stage 3 of a healthy relationship is emotional intimacy. You begin to share secrets. You begin to share things that are exclusive to your relationship. That's where romance comes in. you start going to restaurants, and it's not just conventional or practical conversations, it's much more intimate conversations. That's where romance comes in. Then finally, there's physical, after emotional intimacy, there's physical intimacy. Those are the four. Sex. If you put them out of order, physical attraction, then sex, you're not even going to get to emotional intimacy. You're not going to get to a lot of verbal communication. 1 out of 3 couples in America goes on a date and has sex on the first date. I think it always ruins the relationship. And there are many stories of guys especially who say they would never marry a woman who went to bed with them on the first date. Now that can sound hypocritical. What, the guy's allowed, for the guy it's okay, and for the woman it's not, if there's a double standard. But we always know that there's a double standard in relationships. We do have to address and correct those double standards. So the point I'm making is, even if a couple cannot go to mikveh right now, even if an Orthodox Jewish couple can't go to mikveh, what does that have to do with romance? You could still tell your wife she's beautiful. She could still tell you how deeply she appreciates you and how much she loves you. In fact, right now, I think people are feeling very alone, very vulnerable, even at home with their families. And they need affirmation more than any other. For example, I didn't have a great day. You know, I don't know. Things I wanted to achieve, I didn't really achieve today. The lockdown sometimes gets to me. And if I were doing this talk with all of you and my daughter Chana, who runs kosher.sex, if she weren't next to me and helping me do all this, just her very presence, just her very company makes a difference to me. I love my daughter. I love my sons. I feel so fortunate and lucky to have them near me. Human company is a big deal. One of the reasons I've done these talks almost every night, and I've barely missed any since the beginning of the lockdown, is to communicate with all of you. It means something to me. In fact, on Zoom, it means more that I could see you guys and I could hear you. That's where we're trying to transition out of only doing Facebook. On Facebook, here we've got so many messages. We get thousands of comments. Sorry, I get hundreds, sometimes thousands of comments, but I don't get to see the people. That's why you guys should call in now. Again, 7114-006-9426. 7114-006-9426. Any other questions? And some of you who are writing questions, don't be too shy to actually ask them. Anyone else?
Oh, they're telling you how to pin it. I don't know.
Oh, someone's telling me how to pin it?
On Instagram, to pin a comment on the live chat.
How?
You need to post it, and after you post it, they just wrote that.
Where? On Instagram, to pin a comment on a live chat, you need to post it. And after you post it, hold down on your comment, and it will give you an option to pin it. Hold down for a couple of seconds. Okay. So you know what? Let me see if this works. Let me go back to my comment. Where's Rabbi Shmuly's comment? Thanks for teaching this to me, guys. Okay, here we go. Hold on your comment a few seconds. And it's not giving me an option to pin it. Oh, pin comment. Ha! It worked! But I don't see where it was pinned. Okay, why can't we do that on Facebook? Anyone want to give me an idea of how we could do this on Facebook?
You're not on Instagram anymore.
What?
You're not on Instagram anymore.
No. Oh, sorry, right. Why aren't I on Instagram anymore? Okay, we're back. I'll read some of your questions from Facebook, but if you know how I can pin this. Heather, romance is wrought out of an inner desire to connect in the most intimate way. Sex is romance to the extent that it is creative. What is the word? Creates a deeper connection. Romance can lead to a deeper intimacy, just like communication. I believe when we take time to truly invest in our significant other, that is romantic. Yeah, well said. I'll give you some examples of romance in the age of Corona. I do a lot of reading. I read a lot of history. I'm obviously reading a lot of news. The news is depressing, but the history is not always depressing. Reading aloud to my wife at night, things that I find interesting. That's romantic. Cutting and pasting things that I think are funny or amusing or uplifting and sending them to her. I think that is expressing my daily appreciation. Going for walks with my wife, which I love doing. That's romantic. Give me other ideas. I want to hear from more of you. Chana, any other romantic ideas? You said on Kosher Sex.
Every product on Kosher Sex is romantic.
Well, some of them are sexual, and that's okay. We believe that intimacy in marriage is what binds people together as bone of one bone, flesh of one flesh. Some of them are more romantic. Candles are very romantic. Why do people love candles? Because they give light. They're illuminating. They create warmth.
They set the mood.
Yeah, and we need some mood setting today because of just a glut of bad news. Any other questions? Oh, here. Hey, Ted.
Rabbi,
Yeah.
hi. So when I was a child growing up in Brooklyn, I had many different ethnic friends. And one couple in particular, an Irish couple, were very devoted to each other. One day, the little boy, they had a child, got hit with a car. Thank God he survived. But when the kids ran up and said, Mrs. Meehan, Tommy got hit with a car, she screamed, let out this cry. And she said, but he's at work. They had the same name, the son and the father. And she sighed with relief when she heard it was the son and not the father. Now, my question is this.
God, that's a painful story.
The priority, should a father or a mother put their children ahead of each other's interests?
That's a really good question. Painful story aside, what a painful story. I don't even know how to react to that story. But painful story aside, I have always said that the biggest gift that parents can give their children is to love each other, even more than they love their children. To model for their children an example of unconditional love. Because the fact is, once your kids hit a certain age, 14, 15, the omnipotent love that they felt from their parents, where you wanted to show your mama your boo-boo and have her kiss it, and you wanted to hold on to your mom's dress, and you wanted your dad to say, hey, oh, swell, Charlie, you threw that football like a perfect spiral. Oh, man, did you throw that baseball? By the time you're 14, 15, you're going to want the affirmation of the opposite sex. It's quite amazing. Your parents who were once omnipotent in making you feel good are going to become quite impotent in making you feel good. You're going to start flirting with the girls in school, and then, I mean, that's just, that's a little bit teenage-ish and immature. But when you're older, in your 20s, you're going to want the permanent affirmation of someone you want to get married. And if you witnessed a very healthy relationship between your parents, and you saw love existing between them, then you're going to say, wow, you see, love works, and I'm going to marry. But if you saw your parents fighting or ignoring each other, if you saw the love grow cold, you might decide, you know what? Love was something invented by Walt Disney or by Hallmark to sell Valentine's Day cards. I don't believe in it. That's why I say. So when you ask me whether parents should put each other first in their marriage, even in front of their children, yes, absolutely. Not at all times, of course. But in general, as an ethos, as a philosophy, yes. I'll just give you one example, one very relevant example. I don't believe that children should be in their parents' bedroom at night. I know that tons of kids get nightmares. They run into their nearly half the parents I speak to who have young children, all the kids are in the parental bed, not just bedroom, bed every night. They don't start that way, but they end up that way. I don't believe in that. I believe in you calm the child down, especially if they had a nightmare. You walk them back to their bed, you put them back to sleep. Because it's your private space, it's your private area. And stop thinking you're being a great parent by being a lousy spouse. You're not. If you have no sex life, for example, it's not even sex. The bedroom isn't only about sex. The bedroom is about a place where you can laugh together and giggle or share or have conversations. So many people have highlighted communication. You can't have the same communication in front of your children that you can in front of your kids. You can't have the same thing. So I hope that answers your question, Ted. I'm sorry to hear that terrible story. Wow.
Well, he said he was okay.
It does.
In the end, he was okay?
I'm sorry?
In the end, the boy was okay?
Yes, the boy was okay.
Well, you should have told us that good news. Okay, thanks, Ted.
Yeah, but it could also go the other way. Your parents didn't have a great marriage, and that forced you to search for love yourself.
Well, it forced me to create the family that I felt I was deprived of, meaning I love my father, I love my mother. My father's not well now, as so many people know, and thank you all for praying for him, Yoav Ben Eshrat. But by creating the family I didn't have, what I mean is I love my brothers and sisters. I mean an integrated family that stays together. So, but it could have gone the other way, Chana. I mean, so many of my classmates whose parents divorced, they became very cynical about marriage. Some of them remain so till today. I would say that, it's interesting. Young people in national studies seem to show that they all want to marry. Like 80% of college students, when asked, say they want to marry. And yet they also harbor simultaneously pretty negative views about marriage. Often because they saw their parents having a lousy marriage, or they saw their married friends being pretty unhappy or bored. Hollywood does not reflect happiness in marriage. All the, they call them romantic comedies for a reason. It's romantic up until the last scene of the movie, which is when they get married. They don't show you the next scene when they're not having sex, they're bored of each other. Since when does a romantic comedy involve a husband and wife? It's always a man and a woman who are in a flirtatious form of dating, but marriage is not portrayed by Hollywood in some happy way. Someone name to me a single show that you've seen on Netflix, on Amazon Prime, on Hulu, on ABC, NBC, that portrays a happy marriage. Maybe I'm wrong, but I haven't watched everything. Thank God. Here, Keith says, I agree, the bedroom is sacred. Not everyone agrees with us, though, Keith. Look at the whole concept of attachment parenting, where you're supposed to sleep with the kids in the bedroom. I don't believe in that, but a lot of people do, and a lot of experts do. Okay, we're going to take a last question here, guys, as we've been on for almost 40 minutes. We're going to take a last question.
What do you answer what they wrote?
Oh, if you want to broadcast Zoom on a Facebook page, you can upgrade to the Zoom webinar package, and you can broadcast to both Facebook and YouTube. You can log into Zoom and upgrade there, and you can have all the people who are taking broadcasts, who are talking about on your page. But wait a second. That means I could broadcast on my page directly with Zoom?
Yeah.
Who just answered that? Who's that?
This is David.
Hey, David.
Hey.
Explain that again.
Yeah,
Wait. So right now, people are watching me on my Facebook page. You're telling me that my Zoom could be on my Facebook page?
Yeah, your Zoom, what you do is you log into Zoom. There's packages, because you only got like 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on this.
I see that.
It's a free count.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it'll upgrade the time for you. But if you go in the webinar, it has a limited time. And then there's a little button in the lower right of the Zoom area that you can click when you upgrade. And you just click broadcast to Facebook, and then you can do the live right on your Facebook page with everybody.
Oh, nice.
Oh, good. Okay, great. Thanks. I appreciate it. You know what? So let's try to do that. I'm gonna say goodbye to everybody, as I only have a minute left. Facebook, it's unlimited, not on Zoom. We'll fix it. Thanks. This is all. The Zoom is kind of new for me. Ted, have a good night. God bless you all. We'll announce more. That'll be so much easier for us. Okay. Vilma, thanks for your question. Guys, be romantic. Be loving. Stay safe. God bless you all.